Okay, 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on, kitty. Get out my way. All right, so today I'm going to talk about pros and pros. I mentioned this, I think, a few videos ago, and it's something that I learned years and years ago. I think I've talked about it before on a blog post somewhere, probably, but there's a woman who wrote a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways. And it's a cool book, but one of the most interesting ideas that she suggests in the book is about making decisions that are difficult. For example, let's say I'm trying to decide whether or not to buy a used car, which is a real example of something that I was trying to decide recently. And and typically, what happens, we've been trained to do this thing where we make a pros and cons list. And that seems really smart because we want to know which issues to avoid and which issues would be the best thing. So the problem with a pros and cons list, though, is that if I make a pros and cons list for, let's say, buying a car, I'm going to have things in my pros, of course, but then I'm also going to have things in my cons, like, well, buying a car will cost money. Maybe there will be maintenance fees, there'll be taxes, gas, the expenses, you know, uh, there's these issues, parking. Where am I gonna put it? Um, and then say I make a pros and cons list for not buying a car. Like, okay, there's positives to that, and then, well, the downsides are, I don't have as much freedom. I can't go to a lot of the places I want to. I'm sort of like have to depend on other people or on public transportation. So what this woman, I forgot her name, I apologize. What she what she highlights is a problem when making pros and cons list is that both decisions end up feeling like bad decisions because most of us often focus on avoiding issues. We want to make a decision that has the least amount of problems, but what happens is both decisions end up having problems. And all our minds can do is see the cons in both things. Buying a used car has so many cons. Not having a car has so many cons. And now we're trapped because both decisions feel like bad decisions. And it's problematic. And I know that I've experienced this quite a lot when trying to make decisions. I know that I see this in the way I talk to myself about things. It's like always a heavy focus on avoiding the issues or making sure that I don't make mistakes, and it's hard not to be in that mindset. So what what she suggests, if you want to know her name, look up the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways. What she suggests is don't do a pros and cons list. Just do a pros and pros list. Right. No cons. So let's say, for example, for me, I want to make a pros and pros list for buying a used car and not having a used car. So, okay, what are the pros of having a used car? More freedom. I can go places that I want to go. I don't have to rely on public transportation anymore. I can use less energy to get places because I can just like pull right up, park in the handicap parking space. I can explore more areas in Taiwan that without a car are inaccessible to me. I can bring stuff and not have to be stressed out about how to like take things. So many pros. Okay, a lot of pros. What about the pros of not having a car? Probably a lot of pros as well, right? Like I can save money. I can I don't have to worry about a car to take care of, or I don't have to worry about parking. I can be free of um, the ownership responsibility, something like that. Okay, so those are appealing in some sense, but when I only look at the pros and I say, okay, which good things do I want more? And her system reveals that both decisions end up being good decisions. Like both have pros, both are good decisions. It's just about which benefits do you want more? These ones or these ones? And what I found when I use this system is that it makes decision making much easier because you feel like you can't really make a bad choice. You just go with the pros. Anyways, that's my 5 minutes on pros and pros. Happy, what is today? Happy Saturday.